Okay, so I have a call for AC no cool. This is a Carrier AC unit. It's a 2015 model. And when I turned it on, the compressor made a humming noise and it shut off, which tells me it's going out on thermal overload. I pulled the capacitor off, and it doesn't look bloated or anything, but just checking comment to Herm, I'm getting 0.006 microfarads, and comment to Herm, I'm getting nothing. So this one is rated at 60 plus 5. So I have another 60 plus 5 capacitor here. You can see comment to Herm, it's measuring 60.1. Comment to fan, measuring 4.96. So that's what the capacitor should be measuring. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out, and it should work great. Looks like this replacement one is a little bit thinner, so I'm gonna have to modify this bracket to make it tighter, because you do need the capacitor to be tight for good thermal dissipation. And yeah, capacitors fail from high ambient temperatures and poor thermal heat dissipation. So this one's nice and tight. It just was hot out and it failed. It's filled with castor oil. So what happens is the oil thins out and breaks down when it gets hot out. So I'm gonna replace it, and I should fix it. Okay, I got that new capacitor installed. Put today's date on there, and you can see the bracket was a little bit modified, made it a little bit smaller, and made sure it's not touching the contactor. It's really close on this winding. I should probably move that that spade terminal over a little bit too. Looks like if it's wobbling, it'll possibly could touch that. Yeah, I'm gonna move that over. Okay, I moved it over, so it's looking a lot better now. There you go. So now we're gonna contactor pulled out, so I'm gonna go initiate another call for cooling, and then come back in here and plug in the disconnect and watch it kick on. Okay, so they actually have a zoned system, so they have the zone controller right here. So I'm gonna go to checkout, go to cool, and this compressor has 93 locked rotor amps. That's starter amps. So what I'm gonna do is, see the contactor pulled in, instead of plugging in the disconnect, I'm gonna unplug the contactor wire, plug in the disconnect, and then plug in the contactor, because I want the arcing to happen at the contactor and not inside the disconnect. I don't want to melt the lugs on the disconnect, so let's plug this in. Just like that, easy peasy. So everything looks good. Low voltage looks good. High voltage looks good. Somebody put terminals on there, which is good. Nice and tight. Replace the cover and check our temperature split, and on to the next one. Well, the fans are working great, and suction line is nice and cold. I mean, it's not an indication of the charge, but it tells me it's not completely flat or low on charge. It's pretty close, pretty good. So we're not doing a charge check today. We're just doing a fix on to get it back up and running. We were right here in March, and we replaced the contactor. That's why it was an aftermarket one. It was shorted. The coil was shorted. It was blowing the fuse on the inside. So we've already been here before. So I'm gonna have to check my notes, see if I checked the capacitor. That's interesting. The cover isn't sitting quite right. It's kind of curious. Not making any noise, so I guess we'll leave that. And then I like to look at the wires down inside the condensing unit to make sure they're not rubbing on anything. These wires look good. You can see the way there's no potential rub outs. So I would say this unit's looking in good shape. Coil's nice and clean. So, okay, we're back at the indoor equipment. And these zone damper things, they love to kick you out of the test mode. So I think they run for like 5 minutes or something and then they kick you out. So you have to go back over here and touch it. So we're already on, I hit the left arrow, it'll shut off. So I just hit the right arrow. Keeps it active, you know, gives me another 5 minutes or whatever. So we're looking at about 73 degrees. Coming back into the lower compartment there. And below we're looking at about 52. Just pull out a screw on this temperature sensor here. It's about a 21 degree split. That's pretty good. So it's not an indication of the charge, but performance is looking pretty good at this outer temperature. So okay. Yeah, on to the next one.